Hey everyone, welcome back to part 2. Last time we covered importing data, building a calendar table, and writing our measures. Now let's dive into the fun part, creating the visuals to bring our manufacturing dashboard to life. Let's get started. Alright, so let's start with our visuals. Let me just try to format the page first. So we go here, we go to canvas background, and we browse the image. So you have it in your Google Drive. So yes, you can select the image too. We'll reduce the transparency to 0%, and then image fit would be fit. Makes sense. Okay, so we have our background ready. Okay, let's start with this card. That's the KPI card. Will be our first visual. Okay, we drag our total revenue and we have 13.27 million in sales. Now we go to format. Oh, okay. So this is not the card. We need to format the measure. So we need to go to total revenue, right? And then we'll need to change it to dollars. So I'll go here and change it to US dollar. Perfect. So now it lands up at $13.27 million. That's our sales. Now, if we go to our Excel file, we can verify this amount by checking the total. All right, so we see here the number matches and we are good to go. You need to remember that we are using copy paste a lot. So we'll not be, making first we need to format this visual and then we can just copy paste. So call out value. Okay, you can try, there are a bunch of options. You can try and experiment with each of them and see how this works for you. But now I'm choosing the font as Comic Sans MS. You need to adjust the size, you need to adjust the color. Okay, we'll go in detail, but all I'm saying is that you don't have to follow exactly like what I'm doing, but you have a bunch of options. So please experiment, please try, please see whatever suits best for your choice and dashboard and whatever the requirement you may have. So, okay, the one thing I would like to say is whenever you select a color like this, try to note down the hex code for it so that next time when you want to create another visual next day, because what will happen is when you'll close Power BI, it might not remember the exact shade that you selected. So, okay, like I have written this in Notepad, that's the hex code. So whenever next time I want to use that exact same shade, all I have to do is just put in the hex code and it will give me that exact shade. So now I want something on a darker side. So when I'll drag it over here, okay. Mm, so all I'm trying to say is whenever you drag it, you'll find a hex code of that exact shade. Just note it down because you are going to be using it. Or also, sometimes if you are working with a client and you're working with a brand, so they will provide you the exact shade of their brand colors. So display units is fine. Now category label. Okay, this the label that is showing total revenue, it's category label. Again, I'll change the font to Comic Sans. You can choose whatever you like. Now this I want a little darker, so I'll go with a darker shade of brown itself for now. And right, and in the end, if you feel that okay, there's not something you want, you can always go back and edit that. So that's just fine. Initially, you might just want to focus more on the visuals. All right. So Just noting it down. All right, so now we've noted down the hex code. So we'll go to the right side, general properties. Here you can adjust the size and etc. Title is there. Now we'll be going to effects and we'll be removing the background. Right. I want the border. Yes. Um, Color. For now, I think I'll be leaving it at black only. But maybe if I decide to change later on, I can change it. Rounded corners, 25 pixels. 7, I don't think it makes sense. You can try various sizes and see what makes sense to you. I feel 25 would make sense. So, yep. All right. Now, effects. Okay. Yes, I would make it 2 pixels wide. I also want a shadow. Color would be white for now. See, what all I'm doing here, I might make changes later on. But all I would say is like try what feels best to you. Okay. Call out value. Okay, I would reduce the size a little bit so that it fits on the frame. All right, data format seems fine. Shadow seems fine. Color is white. Maybe. Yep. Okay. Data format is fine. I think rest of them seems pretty much fine. So this is the KPI card that we have, and we'll just copy paste it. All right, I'll just Control C, Control V. Okay, now we have the same. Now all we got to do is change the field. So instead of total revenue, which I will uncheck from here on the right hand side, and I'll just check the total units sold, and I would have the total units sold. See, it's that easy. I'll make another copy of it, and this would be for the percentage of return, I mean return percentage. But then again, when you select return percentage, you need to make sure that you go to the table tools over here. I mean, like, sorry, measure tools, and then you change it to percentage, right? So instead of 0.02, it is showing 1.81%, which is more accurate. All right. Let's get started with our first visual. Let's see if we want to make it a bar chart or a column chart. I think a column chart would make more sense. So I'll go with the clustered column chart for now. Okay. And then what we'll do is we can drag either the measure of total revenue to the y-axis, or since it's a simple sum measure, we can also drag it from the sales data. It's your choice. You can either drag the total revenue measure, or we can just go to the sales data. So for now I'm putting it the sales data. So what I'll do is I'll drag the revenue, summation of revenue, to the y-axis. Right. Now on the x-axis, what do I want? I want the date. So what I'll do is I we have already created the calendar table. So we'll drag the month, because we don't want for each single day, because that would become too complex, like this, right? So we don't need this. What we'll do is we'll create a date hierarchy, because like, okay, we can drag the month over here, but you see the month is not in correct sequence, right? It's not January, February, March. So for that, we need to create a date hierarchy, and we can put all the data. So I'll just show it to you. Right. So we just click here, we click on create hierarchy, right? So this is date hierarchy. It contains the date, and we'll add the other fields to the hierarchy like this, correct? Add to hierarchy, date hierarchy, correct? Sometimes it pops up automatically, but I don't know. We can create this when it does not pop up automatically. Okay, seems fine. So we have everything added. It's just the year that we need to add. So we'll add this add to hierarchy, date hierarchy. Okay, now it's there. So now what we'll do is we'll drag the date hierarchy to the y-axis, to the x-axis of our chart. So just let's click on chart, date hierarchy, and we drag it to the x-axis. Now this is showing us too much of detailed data on a day-to-day basis, but there are some things we don't need. So we can remove the day, we can remove the month, or maybe just keep the month, and we can remove the quarter and the year. So we'll just cross it out. Right. So now we need to format the chart that we have. Again, I will use Comic Sans MS. You can choose whatever you like. And bold, and the color, I think I'd put it brown, right? Okay. So we see the month names have changed to brown color. Okay, for the title, I think we might not need the title. Do we need it? Mm, okay, let's try keeping it bold. Right. Now I'll change the color. Let's see, y-axis. Again, I would change the font. Color, yes. I think this looks better when I remove the title, because months are self-explanatory, so I don't think we need a title over there. I think I'll remove the title for y-axis as well. No grid lines. Just want to make it transparent and kind of merging with the background. So zoom slider, you can put it where you have too much of data, but I don't think we need it here. I would change the column colors to light brown maybe, or okay, let me see the hex code. Okay, we have it, light brown, right? I would turn on the data labels, yes. And for data labels, I would want to change the color as well, and maybe make it a little bold. So yeah, all series, the orientation and all seems to be fine. Position seems to be fine. We don't need title now, but just the values. Again, I'll change the font. All right, make it bold. Yeah. And then color, I would like to change, but does this seem fine? Okay, I think I would change. Yeah. So maybe a little pinkish or light red shade. Think seems fine. Yep, I think it seems fine. Just note the hex code down for it, like it says EB6060. So let me just go ahead, EB6060, light red. Yep. Okay. I think, okay, again, it goes without saying that I'll change the font. Text color, the red, yes, light red, centrally aligned. Okay, effects. No, I don't need the background. I wanted to merge with the background. Border, yes. Shadow, yes. Border, yes. Color, okay. I will want it to be this dark brown, right? With 2 pixels, rounded corners, 25 pixels. Correct. Shadow, yes. Color, white. Formatting columns. Maybe drag it a little, adjust and resize. Now, okay. Now let's add a filter. So I would add a year filter over here to kind of solid between 2024 and 2025. Okay, I've pulled down the date hierarchy, but what I basically need is the year. Because here, in case of January, it is showing the summation of both 2024 and 2025. So I don't want that data. So I want it to be specific. You can either select only just one year. So I would make it a drop down, yes, but I would not give multiple select option. I would just simply give that either you select 2024 or you select 2025. So I would turn on the single select. Right. So now it's showing 2024 data. Correct. Now I would format this visual to kind of match with the KPI cards. So I think it's a similar formatting that you can see. Yes, I want a visual border again, 25 pixels, width would be 2 pixels. I think it looks fine, don't you think? I'll just copy and paste this, and now I'll create another filter. Now this will not be for year, but this will be for the region or maybe product. I think for the region. Yep. Okay, now since this filter has been copy pasted, it will have the single select option on. So what I want to do is first because I want to be able to see multiple region data as well. So I'll disable and I'll select the select all option as well. Yes. So now we can select multiple regions for which we want the data. Right. We're gonna later on maybe transform this into a map as well. Uh, but for now, I'm like to keep things simple. I'm just putting in a filter, but we can put in a map. Yeah. I just want to show you how this thing works. And I'm wanting to proceed slow so that you get things easily. But if you feel like I'm going too slow, of course, it's at your option to, increase the speed. Let's now start with a pie chart. So what I would do is I want it to be segregated by products. So I'll drag the products to the legend. See, if we drag it to the values, it will just count, but all I want is to be separated. What I want in the values is the revenue. So I'll drag the summation of revenue to the values, and then it has given me a pie chart. Now again, I would, just show you the basic formatting so you can fast forward or you can format it as per your needs, but it will be very similar to how we formatted the bar chart. There we adjusted the colors for columns. Now we'll be adjusting the colors for slices. So which product you want to, sort of give which color, you can select. But yes, this is something that you can do. You clicked on the bar chart, I mean the column chart, selected on format painter and then clicked on the pie chart. So it pasted most of the formats over here. Now you just have to like kind of make some changes that you feel that one was not correct as per the format painter. So you can just make the additional changes. It just makes your work faster, right? So it'll be very similar to formatting the column chart. We'll just assign the colors and I think that should be fine. So slices and then one by one we'll select the chocolate, what color we want to assign, and then individually we have to select. So yeah, I would assign this dark brown for chocolate for now. So this is how you do it. Oh yeah, I need to write the hex codes as well, just to keep a track of what all shades I'm using. So this is a good practice. Do practice along because see, just watching this video would not help. And of course, if you want to download Power BI and you want more basic details, I already have videos for those uploaded on my channel. Do check it out. A line chart now, right? All right, so what do we want to show with the line chart? We would again show the revenue maybe over years. So we can drag the revenue to the y-axis and then the year to the x-axis maybe. So just drag on the year. Yeah, right. But remember, this is because of the filter, it's only showing 2024. Now what we're gonna do is here, we go here, edit interactions, and then, you know, like we select the filter and then we disable the interaction with this filter. So now what will happen is this particular visual, that is our line chart, it will not interact with the filter. So it will give us the whole data irrespective of whatever is applied in the filter, because we need it for both 2024 and 2025, right? Okay. Now here we can try an experiment, but I think maybe we'll come down to a situation where we will want the month and the year, but not the other details. So we will kind of cross the other details out. And then what we'll do is we just want the year and the month. So, yep, we'll just put in date hierarchy. And right now, what's happening is okay, okay, let's just keep the month over here. Okay, I can remove these things from the hierarchy, which I don't need. I just created to show you. No, okay. Now when I'm putting date, it's giving me too much data. So I'll just put in year and then yes. Okay, I will remove these from models. I don't know what is happening, but we'll figure this out. Don't worry. So, so this is how you also figure things out. When you try an experiment, you know, you get to learn how things work. So we'll put in just the month over here for now. Right. And now we'll take the year as well and we'll put it downside. So what's happening? Okay, now we want it in the reverse order. Right. So we'll take the another one of this and then yep, we'll remove the date. Perfect. So now we have year on top and then below that month and which is coming on reverse order. Yep. So this all makes sense now. Now again, format painter. Yeah. And then of course the basic formatting that we need to do. Yes, we got to do that. I'll just reformat this completely fresh. Yes, so instead of sum of revenue, I just wanted to show revenue by year and month. You can rename any visual. I mean, rename any data field for a particular visual. Right. Now, the other formatting, I think this you must have gotten used to it. Pretty similar for almost all the visuals. Yep, this color looks nice. I do want it shaded. See, because in a video, it is not possible to show you each and every option. So you need to learn it by, ticking and unchecking and doing things right. So a lot of formatting, yes, but I think we have come to a decent place in the first tab. Maybe a little bit of more touch up is required. I think the shadow black looks better, so I think I'm gonna change it for all the visuals. Yeah, so I'll select each one and then just change the. Well, that's it for now. Stay tuned for the next part where we'll continue building out this awesome dashboard. See you soon. Bye bye.